I was here for McGregor Poirier too. President Trump walks in, and there was only one bigger ovation or one bigger moment when somebody walked out, and that was when Conor walked out.
I'm telling you, the Trump moment
Yeah.
in New York, I have never seen anything like that in my life. Everybody was on their chairs with their phones, and it was insane.
Do you ever get pushback though from that relationship, especially during COVID?
Oh, I don't give a shit. That guy's been a friend of mine for 20 years. He's one of the most stand-up, solid dudes that I've ever met in my life. If he gives you his word, done. We've been friends for a long time, and nobody wants to get dragged out into the political arena. It's all fucking bullshit, and you know what I mean? It's all just a bunch of bullshit. And when he called me, this was when he was first going to run, and this is what he said to me. And let me explain this to you too. So when we were talking about early on, when we first got started in this business, and this brand was so bad that venues didn't even want us. You know, these arenas didn't want us at there. They're like, whoa, we don't want this stuff in our arena. So we had a hard time finding venues. And Trump literally called us. Now remember this, think about this, where the Trump brand was. Here, UFC brand was down here. Come to my place, you know, do the event here, we'll have you at the Trump Taj Mahal, blah, 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 blah. We get there, greatest setup for us, he did this whole thing for us, showed up to the first fight and was there till the last fight. Both times we went there. Everything that happened to me in my career from there on out, he would pick up the phone and congratulate me or send something. Always been a solid guy with me. So then he calls me and says, I'm running for president. Now listen, if you don't want to do this, I completely understand. But I would be honored if you would speak at the National Republican Convention for me. Everybody told me not to do it. Everybody. And I'm like, this guy, all the things that he's done for me, I'm going to tell him no. Yeah, no, that's not me.
Yeah.
I went up and I told the people the truth, who he is, what he's done for me, the type of person he's been, you know? And people who are close to him like that, like Tyson too. Tyson spoke up for him because he's always been good to Tyson. He's always been, you know.
Why did people tell you not to do it? Like, what was their justification of telling you not to do it?
Because he wasn't going to win. There's no way he was going to become the president of the United States. And to get out there and speak publicly, politically, you know, it's almost like the Jordan thing. You know, when they were talking about Jordan, I'm sure you guys watched the Jordan.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Right?
Like
I mean, amazing.
12 times.
Reminded us all why we fucking love Michael
Yeah.
Jordan, right? So the Jordan thing, you know, I can't remember the exact scenario, but there was a black guy running for Democrat in North Carolina or something like that, and they wanted Jordan to go out there and speak, and he's like, Republicans buy shoes too. And I think that's everybody's stance, that everybody's liberals, you know, watch the UFC too. So you want to have your fan base as big as you could possibly have. But for me, I'm very loyal, and that guy was good to me. There would be no UFC early on, you know, because we had trouble getting venues. He helped us, and you know, he helped take us to another level. And at a time when he didn't have to, and at a time when his brand was powerful and ours was nothing.
You speak about the loyalty there, which we respect. I respect being loyal to your friends and people that have supported you. Is there anything or any moment where he's done anything where you disagree with?
I have lots of friends that do things that I don't absolutely agree with all the time. You know what I mean? It doesn't make me not be their friends anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? And some of the things that are said about Trump, and racist. He's not a racist. I can tell you that. Right? I've been around the guy for 20 years. And I could tell you 1,000 stories that you don't want to hear. But, you know, one of the things that he said to me, he says, you know what's hilarious? I've owned hotels and casinos my whole life. People from all over the world have worked for me. Never been called a racist till I became the president of the United States. And I've never seen anything or heard anything come out of his mouth in all the time that I've known him that would make me say he was. Do I love do I agree with everything that he does and says? No. Are we 100% politically aligned? No.
Right.
But you never will be with any president of the United States. You're never going to be 100. And then when you talk about him being a friend, my friends do things that I don't agree with sometimes, but doesn't make me not be their friends anymore. It's just different at a level when you have somebody that's as polarizing as Trump is.
Hold up, limitless, take a stomach, pinning it. I fought to hear to witness it. Get my people feeling militant.